Rainbow Six Siege Season 8 is coming to a close, and the Season Pass for next year is already available for purchase if you want to be first in line to try out the new operators. Until that time though, or until you put down more money for a Season Pass, you still have 44 other operators from all around the world to play with. But which ones rank at the top? Hi, I'm Alpha Lance with Leaderboard, and today we're going to go over our top 10 operators, 5 defense and 5 offense operators based on a combination of official Ubisoft stats, pro league play, and personal experience for casual gaming in Rainbow Six Siege operators ranked. So prepare to insta-lock your new main and pass those plates around. Defense operator number 5, Rook. First up is the youngest operator of the GIGN, the bulkiest boy, Rook. Now, on the surface, Rook is fairly simple. He places down a bag of armor plates, which we all lovingly call sweaters, then goes about his day. With so many more interesting and technologically advanced operators, you might be thinking that sounds a little too simple, but Rook brings more than just his plates to the table. Back on October 23rd, 2018, Ubisoft posted the Year 3 Season 3 Designer's Notes mid-season, which gives us some insight to what the balancing team saw in ranked play during Operation Grim Sky. Using this very informative chart, we can see an operator's pick rate percentage versus win-loss ratio, aka win delta, in platinum and diamond ranked play. And who's at the top of the win delta chart, you might ask? Well, it's none other than good old sweater boy, Rook. Unfortunately, you'll also see him on the underpick side as well. See, Rook's ability has a great few advantages that most other gadgets don't. Armor plates are both passive and mobile gadgets. Unlike other active abilities like Smoke's smoke grenades or Finka's stim packs, Rook's armor plates give a passive damage resistance and extra bleed out time in the background when you're down but not out. All your allies have to do is put them on, but making sure your team is putting them on is kind of like herding cats. We've all been there. And unlike Mute's jammers or Jaeger's active defense systems, Rook's armor plates offer protection wherever you go, roamers. Top all this off with a good loadout, including an ACOG scope, and you have a good operator for both new players and veterans alike. Everyone should really be giving Rook a second look. Number 4 on defense, Mira. The smallest 3 armor operator, Mira is known for her deadly vector submachine gun and one-way black mirrors. These gadgets allow her and her teammates to safely view through a soft wall regardless of whether or not it has been reinforced. This gives her team a intel advantage and the opposing team a chance to say, nope, never mind, not going this way, go back, going around guys, we're going around. Keep your cleverly written dystopian future show Netflix, Mira's black mirrors are the only ones I need. Since Mira's debut almost 2 years ago in Operation Velvet Shell back in February of 2017, players have been finding more and more strategic ways of building Mira nests. They can give optimal cover, advantageous angles to fire at enemies, or psychological warfare, or all of the above. So if you don't already have a favorite layout, you can definitely research some amazing builds online. In the right layout, you can find a few walls and turn them into a fortress with Mira. Just watch out for Twitch drones. Number 3 on defense, Kapkan. Off to Russia, our next top pick is a gadget-oriented Spetsnaz operator that, like Mira, will help you make a defense point into a fortress. Kapkan's entry denial devices used to be insta-kill traps, but were also much more obvious. Even after being reduced in damage, they are still not to be taken lightly. Being able to set these traps at varying heights and a large variety of doors and windows can be both a blessing and a curse. Do you place EDDs in doors that are popular routes, or do you set them up in unexpected door frames? Your traps may be obvious at times, but they can do serious damage. They can still be even effective after you died at the beginning of the round. Plus, if one goes off, it is not a subtle thing. The entire defensive team will know where at least one enemy is if their name doesn't show up in the kill feed. According to the Year 3 Season 3 Designer's Notes, Kapkan is picked just under 10% of the time in Platinum and Diamond gameplay. Even so, his win delta is in the positives, higher than almost every other operator in the game at the time. If Kapkan isn't picked up by the attacker's drones on the prep phase, his traps can be a big surprise to rushers and those not checking their corners. Even if he is ID'd though, the enemy will now need to be careful when indoors. This slows momentum, punishes rushing, and most importantly, wastes precious time for the offense. Every second earned can make all the difference in Rainbow Six Siege. Number 2 on defense, Echo. Having a presence of 94.5% at the Season 8 finals, Echo was relevant in nearly every match in Brazil. Admittedly, that's because he was banned 80% of the time, but that's only because these players know the truth. In Siege, knowledge is power. Well, knowledge and taking away an opponent's ability to properly aim their gun. Echo's yokai drones have a multitude of purposes and utilities. They can be defensive drones used to scout out corners, invisible cameras that can be moved from the safety of your deployable shield, or trap-like devices that can deter rushers, shield operators, and diffuser plants. Like a corny infomercial, these little guys seem to have a million uses and you can get 2 of them if you call now. While not deadly by themselves, the yokai's ultrasonic blast put disoriented opponents in a dangerous position for at least 10 seconds, and if they move, that can go up to twice as long. This puts them at a severe disadvantage in a firefight, allowing Echo or one of their teammates to finish them off. And when it comes to put the toys away, Echo has the reliable MP5 submachine gun to wield. The MP5 that also has an integrated suppressor, so you can't customize it as much as maybe the other guns you're used to, but having a suppressor is a good attachment to be stuck with. Number 1 defense operator, Lesion. In that win delta versus pick rate chart we've referenced before, Lesion is shown to be in a powerful place in high level play with a 50% pick rate and a positive win delta. He's both popular and effective at his job, and it's easy to see why. How many other operators regenerate their gadgets slowly over time? Lesion generates 1 goo mine every 30 seconds and can have a maximum of 8 deployed at a time. While this limits Lesion's ability to act in the prep phase, it forces players to play the long game to maximize this gadget's effectiveness, which, let's be honest, can be an important reminder sometimes of just take it slow and play it out. While his mines do a limited 10 damage initially, it can stack up over time. In the meantime, disabled players cannot sprint, and this can kill low health enemies. When activated by attacking forces, they go off with a loud sound and can take the steam out of any attack rush. Plus, both of his primary weapons are rather good. So if you can live with the cargo shorts, Lesion is an excellent choice for almost any defensive operator. And the first of the offense operators, number 5, goes to Glaz. Glaz's ability really only helps himself, you'd say. Unless, of course, you count killing targets and giving callouts. But that's beside the point. Glaz is Siege's only true sniper, but some could argue that several pistols have proven to be stellar at long-range combat as well. Armed with his flip scope with advanced optics that highlights enemies in bright highlighter yellow and allows him to see through smoke, it's pretty apparent why Glaz can be powerful. Glaz is great with long sightlines like hallways, and especially terrifying on the map plane. His gun is the only one that can shoot through the otherwise bulletproof windows that look to the outside. He can also be armed with smoke grenades, which give him extra utility. With a little coordination, your teammates can bring a few more to help cover a bomb plant, or defending an objective, or just allow you to view from the outside with someone else's grenade inside. Glaz's gun is powerful and accurate, but his scope also makes acquiring targets a lot easier for players, especially those still learning to spot details like
when a touch of color is out of place.
Spotting opponents instantly can make a world of difference in you and your team's survivability. Of course, he can be rather map specific, but the mere presence of Glaz on plane can cause a defending team to tremble behind their deployable cover. Offense operator number 4, Twitch. This is the operator for you if you really want to reduce your death count on your profile. While no longer in the golden era, Twitch can be phenomenal when used correctly. Her RSD Model 1 shock drone is quieter and more subtle than its standard siblings, making it an extra stealthy observation tool, if not an all-out plan ruiner. More often than not, Siege players choose operators for their gadgets, but players pick Twitch to say, fuck your fun. With only a few exceptions, Twitch's drone can destroy most defensive devices, which the defensive team was probably really hoping to use. Oh, I see you put batteries on this wall. You really don't want me coming in this way, do you? Would be a shame if something were to happen to those batteries then. Of course, just like in real life, you shouldn't spend all day on your phone. Luckily, when it's time to throw down, Twitch is armed and ready with the F2 assault rifle, one of the best ARs in the game that only she and the GIGN recruit can wield. The F2 dominates at close range encounters while still excelling at mid-range engagements. So as tempting as zapping your enemies with your drone can be, save the real damage for the big guns and take out those gadgets. Offense operator number 3, Habana. For those times you just want to see what they're doing over there in that room because it seems so secret, Habana is perfect at causing chaos for a defending team. Her X-Kairos pellets can breach reinforced walls from a distance, minimizing risk for her and her teammates. It's not hard to believe that Habana is an exceptional asset to her team. Her gadget can be used to create sightlines, and her assault rifle, the Type 89, is great at mid-range. And she can also equip the Bearing 9 SMG on her hip for close range, though it's not as good as it used to be after the recoil rework. On December 3rd, SiegeGG posted the statistics of the Rainbow Six Pro League Season 8 finals, which were held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil back in November 2018. They calculated which operators had the most total presence in the tournament by their combined times picked and banned, and Habana was relevant a whopping 84% of the time. She had the second highest presence of offense operators behind the now banned Lion, and only third overall behind Echo. Habana is a force to be reckoned with her utility, deadliness, and ability to synergize with other operators and operator gadgets. Not to mention she wears a badass hoodie. Offense operator number 2, IQ. Alright, here's a pick that some of you may disagree with. Unlike Thatcher or Twitch, who can destroy gadgets with their own devices, IQ's electronic detector simply locates electronics. While her device is active, IQ is stuck using only her secondary. But the Spectre has a few very strong advantages, and first off is its subtlety. IQ flips open the wrist-mounted device in a quick and nearly silent motion. It audibly and visually highlights traps, bombs, and cameras, but those cues are only visible to IQ. So she's excellent at scouting, spotting gadgets that could seriously mess up her team, but the detector also has an unlimited use. With no battery to charge or resources to reload, IQ can scan as often as she wants for as long as she wants. The only problem with this gift of knowledge is that you'll need to find a way to pass it along to your teammates, which means communicating with your team and even maybe coordinating. I know, crazy, but hear me out. Sticking with a teammate or two can make all your lives a whole lot easier. They can have your back while you're scanning in front of them. Sure, you might become someone's 3K highlight on Reddit, but more often than not, you'll be grateful for the backup and they'll be grateful for your insight. Plus, that ain't just any pea shooter in your hand, that's the P12, a high ammo capacity semi-automatic handgun that can still take you out with a single well-placed headshot. It's the same one that Blitz has used to mess you up several times. Plus, with every operator that comes out, IQ has one more gadget that she could possibly spot before its deadly use. And you know there's going to be gadgets. There's no way a team is going to choose an entire defensive team with no gadgets for you to scan. Now, if only we could put her device in a hands-free helmet like Jackal's Inox, but she'd probably be OP then. Operator on offense number 1, Thermite. An oldie but a goodie, Thermite is one of the original operators with a simple but powerful utility, the ability to make a really big hole. Most defenses have a wall they really don't want you to get through, and as Thermite, it is your job to make their worst nightmares come true. Thermite allows your team to avoid choke points and other routes your opponents want you to take. Habana may see more professional play, but for our purposes, Thermite is usually the better choice. He can affect a map in a very large way, but more importantly, in a way that your teammates will easily understand. Thermite is a great choice for both coordinated teams and solo queuing. On top of his incredible utility, Thermite wields the 55XI assault rifle, a gun that hits like a truck and fires just as slowly as one. What gives Thermite's gadget extra utility over that of Habana or Maverick is his Brimstone's powerful blast. Without saying a word in chat, the explosion shouts, "The match really starts now." If you're a Finka, now is the time to activate that boost. And if you're a Monty, now is a really good time to deploy that shield and move forward. Or if you're a Dokkaebi, let's give the opposing team a call, shall we? Being able to coordinate with your team can be the most powerful tool of all in Rainbow Six Siege, and Thermite is like a snap of a finger, a starting gun if you will, a countdown to say 1, 2, 3, let's go. And unfortunately, there's 34 other operators, but we're kind of running out of time, so we can't cover them. So tell us in the comments below, what are your tips for the top 10 here, or tell us which operator you think should have been on the list. Let us know in the comments below. Once again, I'm your host, Alpha Lance with the Leaderboard, so be sure to subscribe. And if you want to hear more about Rainbow Six Siege, check out our Then vs. Now video about how the game has changed.